Hi, everybody. I'm actually talking to you in my car. My daughter has her flashlight from her phone on me. I'm in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, believe it or not. I'm actually here on a mother-daughter date and wanted to make sure that I got Facebook Live in today. It's a really important topic tonight, so didn't want to miss out. And I know it's been a week since last week. We had a blast at Disneyland. We did about 30 miles between the two parks and all the craziness. My Fitbit told me how crazy we were. So that's a way to figure out what you're accomplishing. But we're home. We had a great Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Got to spend lots of time with my family. We laughed till we cried. It's been wonderful. It's been a huge blessing. So yeah, mother-daughter date tonight. We went to the spa. Had some stuff done. Now we're in Coeur d'Alene. Only because, honestly, our very favorite place to eat is here. We decided we wanted to go out to dinner, and they have a Texas Roadhouse, and it's really hard to find them. But we happen to know where there's one is, and so, yes, it's late, but guess what? It's not a school night, so we're over here getting ready to go in, and I'm going to have some steak. So that's our evening. But I wanted to talk tonight. Welcome to Q&A Wednesday. The New Year is upon us, and I know that I keep talking about not doing New Year's resolutions. That's important to have more of a revolution, that it's more about changing your lifestyle, but you know what, it is what it is. I know that everybody's going to set New Year's goals, and I want to make sure that we're doing it the right way. So really think about what it is that you really want to accomplish. I've been talking a lot about not just having a goal, but having a vision, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's talk about diets. If you have questions, if you have something specific you want to ask about, please do so. I want to make sure that I answer questions. Now, of course, you remember that these are always my opinion and what I think about it, but it's not just from whatever. I've actually done a lot of research, and I find it kind of interesting when somebody asks me about something I don't know when it comes to foods and nutrition. I actually do some research to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to cover that just a little bit. Hi, everybody. Hi, Robin. We're going to talk in a little bit. So anyway, a couple of questions that I want to respond to just before we even get started, unless anybody has any specific questions they want to ask, is, which diet is appropriate for you? Now, first of all, I just want to tell you that we kind of all use the word diet in a wrong way. We all use it in a manner of what we eat, or it is what we eat, but it's that we restrict ourselves to a special kind of food in order to lose weight, and sometimes it's medically necessary. Those that have maybe celiac disease have to avoid gluten and some other things, but or allergies, things like that. But really, what all a diet means is a specific type of way that we eat, the kinds of food that a person or an animal or even a community tends to habitually eat. So we kind of use the word diet in the wrong way, and I don't care for that. But I'd rather make it a lifestyle. I don't like anything that kind of points to having to sacrifice when it comes to food and nutrition. First of all, mentally and emotionally, it's really difficult to get through. So it's all about the way that you look at it. So which diet is for you? To be honest, it's not about any specific diet. It's really about doing a couple of things. Number one, eating clean, cutting out the processed food. I know we hear this over and over and over again, but I find it fascinating that every year we all jump into the same thing isn't that the definition of insanity, that we do the same things over and over again, but expecting different results? And that's just not, it doesn't work. Going on a diet, quote unquote, doesn't work. It's making good choices consistently, taking those small steps, making small changes that will overall affect your life, and being able to do it for the rest of your life. If what you're doing is not sustainable forever, why would you think that you can do it now? So many people come in and they're like, okay, well, tell me what to eat. Okay, I'm going to do that for 3 months. Well, what are you going to do when you're done? Are you going to go back to the way you were before and still expect to have results? You can't go on a diet for 3 months, get where you want to go, lose the weight, transform, and then think that you can go back to bad habits. Been there. I know how that works. So it's about making small changes that you can do for the rest of your life. So is dieting healthy? Again, it comes back to what you mean by diet. If you're cutting out a certain nutrient that we need, or if you are dropping your calories to an unsafe level, absolutely, it's not healthy. I would say that I work more trying to help people understand that you have to eat enough food. As a matter of fact, most of my people, their biggest issue is that they're not eating enough calories. And I know that sounds totally counterproductive or intuitive to what we learn through the media. Media tells us, eat less. No, just eat less crap. That's really what it's about, is eating healthy. Somebody that weighs 250 pounds and wants to subsist on 1,200 calories is not going to get where they want to go. Their body's going to think they're starving. Which actually brings me to my next question, which is how do I strengthen my willpower? Okay. If you're not eating food, if you're not eating enough calories, if you're not eating enough nutrients, your body will literally do anything that it takes to get you to eat enough food. That's how your body needs to survive. There are certain tactics it's going to take in order to get you to eat enough to survive. That's what it's designed to do. So when you crave food or feel like you need something, when you're not eating enough, your body will respond in a way such as, again, craving specific nutrients, craving certain foods, making you ravenous. And that extends into how your mind functions as well. I mean, you're going to have some issues trying to overcome. Willpower, there's no such thing as willpower, okay? It's eating enough during the day so that your body is not starving, so that you don't get to the point where that food, the craving for the food overcomes your ability to avoid it. When it comes to certain things like, craving unhealthy foods, again, it's a whole lot easier to avoid it if you are already eating enough. So, keep that in mind. We also talked a couple weeks ago about having a goal or a vision or a reason big enough towards working towards your goals that you don't need it. I want to win my competition more than I want that cookie. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's not willpower. When you're starving, your body's going to do whatever it takes to make you eat. Okay, so I just talked to, bless her heart, a wonderful gal a couple weeks ago that asked me a lot about intermittent fasting. And so, we all intermittently fast to a certain degree. When you sleep, if you sleep for 8 hours, you are intermittently fasting. You're fasting for 8 hours. Your body is taking that time to rest and recover and do what it needs to. Now, I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting. A lot of people are. I have read all about the benefits to it. So here's my thought process on that. Fasting once in a while is not bad. There's certain reset buttons that it can hit. It can make your body more sensitive to things like, insulin, dealing with that when you're starting to get that issues with sensitivity. But the problem is most people don't follow the specific rules that are required in the style of intermittent fasting that they're doing. So just not eating whenever you don't feel like eating is not intermittent fasting. You actually have to do some fairly specific things in order to follow it. So thereby you have to pick a rule, pick a type of fasting, and actually follow it. The deal is you still have to get enough calories during the week in order to compensate for that. So if you're interested in more information about that, we can talk, but just not my favorite tool. Just not. I really believe in fueling your body with what it needs, just fueling it clean and doing, feeding it well is super important. And I believe in eating every couple of hours in order to stave off the cravings and the issues that you might have when you want to eat maybe your feelings. So anyway, shake diets would be the last one unless anybody else has some questions. I'm not a fan of shake diets either. I was still going to the gym while we were in California, and I found it fascinating that the gym that we were attending had these advertisements up on the board or up on their TV, and one of them was, if you want to lose weight, just replace 2 meals a day with a shake. And I just had to roll my eyes. I don't believe in shake diets. First of all, think about it. Even if those shakes are fairly decent calories, let's say that shake is 240 to 300 calories. You do that twice a day plus a sensible meal, you might be getting 11, maybe 1,200 calories. For a 250-pound person, that is not appropriate. So, first of all, I don't like it because it actually lowers your metabolism. Number two, they're not going to satiate you. You are going to be starving by the end of the day, which usually leads you to poor choices. It's just not enough calories. It's just not enough. It's not a good enough tool. Now, that's different than replacing maybe a meal here or there with a protein shake when necessary. I tend to do that when I'm traveling and things like that. Little different ball game. But to lose weight, yeah, eat less. Just eat less garbage. That's really what it comes down to. So, there's some rules to follow when it comes to eating healthy, but it's not about starving yourself. It's about learning the things and how your body works best and the nutrients that your body needs. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, I've probably bored the majority of you. I've got some great things coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Really pay attention. We're starting a Build a Booty workshop program at Fit For Me once a week. Hopefully we'll be doing one both at the Kennewick and the Richland locations. It should be fascinating. I struggle a little bit with class style workouts, but it's going to be interesting. And if you want a higher, tighter booty, we're going to talk about how to do that. So that's coming up. Plus, we are going to start a motivational class. If accountability is your only issue, you're already kind of getting some workouts in, you just need to be around a group of people that have similar goals. We're going to work with that. As a matter of fact, Max Muscle of Richland is going to be doing a contest and offering some great prizes. So I know bodybuilding.com and stuff like that does that kind of thing this time of year, but we're going to bring it locally because it's much more fun to have a group of local people that are supporting each other and excited about their goals. So be on the watch for that. As soon as I have dates and times nailed down, I'm going to be posting those. Also, real quick, to all of my competitors, we're coming real quick. Hopefully we're all on the same page. I'm going to see them in a week anyway, but have an incredible New Year's. I can't even believe this year's over. It's been interesting. And to be honest, it has not been a horrible year. It's been an interesting one and I've learned a lot. But I'm not as excited as some people are to see it go by the wayside. I do look at 2017 as being promising and wonderful, and I'm always excited about something new and fresh. But you know what? It was a great learning year, and I'm kind of reflecting and grateful for my blessings about this year. But have an incredible evening. I'm going to go have some steak with my daughter at the steakhouse here, and I will be talking to you next week. Thanks for tuning into Q&A Wednesday.